February.
I want to go to Texas next month. Clint and Tony again for a movie that's going to be there.
Okay.
What do you think? Shall we go?
I'm just thinking about this meeting right now. Ready to call to a meeting to order, and we're gonna wait for Teresa.
Yeah.
Seal, because if you do this,
Gotta wait
you
for Teresa to have a
eliminate the
seat.
cantilever and
The whole design
whole
disappeared. No, I'm with you. There's no reason to paint what should be concrete.
Ready? Welcome to the City of Manistee Historic District Commission meeting. Today is Wednesday, February 26th, and the meeting is called to order. Please stand with us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heather, will you please take roll?
Commissioner Lorraine,
Say yes.
Yes, President.
Chairperson Kenny,
Yes.
Commissioner Trucks,
Yes.
Vice Chair Quinn,
Yes.
Commissioner Kriskowitz,
Yes.
Community Development Director,
Yes.
Administrative Assistant.
Yes.
Roll call complete.
Thank you. And now I'll hand the meeting over to the staff to elect the officers.
Sorry. Okay, so we would like to open the floor for the election of the 2025 Historic District Commission Chair. And we will take any nominations at this time.
I nominate Catherine Kenny as chair.
Second.
Okay, so Commissioner Trucks has nominated Commissioner Kenny.
I move the nominations be closed.
Okay.
You didn't ask me if I accepted.
Right.
This is a mandate.
And have you accepted the nomination? Okay. Okay, let's see here. Let me get this in here.
Can I amend that motion?
You want to amend the motion?
I move that the nominations be closed and a unanimous ballot be cast for Kenny as chair.
Support. Agreed. Captain Truck speaks.
And so do we still, we'll roll call still? Ready for roll call? Okay, Commissioner Lorraine,
Aye.
Commissioner Kriskowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Trucks,
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn,
Yes.
Commissioner Kenny.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so we have Commissioner Kenny is now our HDC Chair for 2025. And you will assume as chair right now and take over the meeting.
Okay, thank you, Heather. And we're going to go through the same process for the vice chair, so I call for nominations for the vice chair.
I nominate Angie Quinn
Second.
as vice chair. And
Angie, do you accept the?
I do.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations?
I move the nominations be closed and a unanimous ballot be cast for Angie Quinn.
Second.
Second by Ed. Heather, will you take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Lorraine,
Yes.
Commissioner Kriskowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Trucks,
Yes.
Commissioner Quinn,
Yes.
Chairperson Kenny.
Yes.
And that motion has passed.
And now we need to nominate a recording secretary. Are there any nominations for a recording secretary?
Wouldn't it be?
Is that a commissioner generally or a staff person?
From my understanding, a commissioner needs to be nominated and approved, then the appointment goes to the staff. Then we vote on the staff appointment. Is that correct?
Actually, the commissioner can just nominate the staff person.
Oh, we can skip that
You
step.
can skip it, so you can just nominate.
I nominate Teresa Waldo as recording secretary. Oh, the fine woman next to Teresa Waldo.
Kaylin Kolonowski.
Sorry, Kaylin.
I second.
Any other nominations?
I move the nominations be closed and a unanimous ballot be cast for Kaylin
Kolonowski.
Kolonowski.
Heather, will you take roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Lorraine,
Yes.
Commissioner Kriskowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Trucks,
Yes.
Vice Chair Quinn,
Yes.
Chairperson Kenny.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. At this time, we need a motion to approve the agenda, and we do have an amendment to the agenda, so I will read the amendment prior and then ask for a motion. The amendment is to add 312 River Street under new business.
Make a motion that we accept the agenda as amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
Support, wonderful. Heather, may we take a roll call vote on that?
Yes. Commissioner Lorraine,
From what I'm seeing here, yes. I really haven't had a chance to, this is the new one?
Yes, it's just to add it to the agenda.
Oh,
We'll
that's,
discuss
yeah,
it
yes,
later.
to be added to, yes. How's that for an answer?
That's good.
okay. Commissioner Kriskowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Trucks,
Yes.
Vice Chair Quinn,
Yes.
Chairperson Kenny.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Moving on to conflict of interest. At this time, the chair will ask if there are any members with a conflict of interest on the approved agenda. Any reporting in conflicts? Okay, moving on. At this time, the Historic District Commission can take action to approve the December 4th, 2024 meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
I move the minutes be accepted.
Support.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any nays? Moving on to public comment on agenda-related items. At this time, the chair will ask if there are any public comments on agenda-related items. If you are here for an agenda-related item, you'll have an opportunity to speak to the commission when we get to that in the agenda. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to new business, which is 312 River Street.
Come on up.
Hello, I am Andrew Stafford, the Director of Economic Development, and I'm going to be standing in for this particular property owner. Unfortunately, they were out in a building show in Las Vegas, as well as the builder for this project. And so I really appreciate the board allowing an amendment to the agenda. I know this was last second. There was some assumptions made, which kind of made it a last second application, unfortunately. However, I really just want to state the importance of this project to this particular property owner, as well as the DDA's support for this project. This is one that is getting support from the MEDC grant that the DDA received back in 2023. And so this project had changed scopes multiple times to what the final version is now, where it's more just a replacement, not an expansion of the footprint, just a replacement of the existing material. And so it's something that has been kind of thrown around, had to get pushed back a couple times due to material shortages and what have you. And so I wish that there was a little more to that application. However, you know, in the short time period, was they wanted to start on March 3rd, and obviously that's a pretty tight timeline. So I was hoping, but we want to do this properly. We want to make sure that, you know, we came before you and didn't, you know, kind of go against the HDC. So we definitely want to make sure we're taking the right steps here. I always encourage applicants for the facade program to come to you right away. Again, that specific application was before my time, and there was some assumptions made, unfortunately. But mostly this project is going to be, it's not going to change the footprint of that deck. It is going to be a replacement of the material, which is currently a wood, into a more composite material that's going to be more sustainable, as well as a changing of that rail material from wood to glass. So I know that there wasn't any renderings with it. Obviously, I don't know protocol with the applications with needing renderings, especially if it's not a changing of the actual footprint of the structure. So I'd be happy to attempt to answer any questions. Obviously, I'm not the builder or the property owner, so I just wanted to make sure that there was representation though for the project. And, you know, we really want to try to work with the HDC to see if there is a path forward where even if it's some type of approval via email, if we can put together renderings for you, something like that. So just any feedback would be great.
Okay. Do you know how the lanterns are proposed to be attached?
I do not, I believe it's fasteners to the post for the railings,
Okay.
to my understanding. I believe that was reflected potentially in the hand drawing of the builder himself. So I know that was a rudimentary drawing in that application where those lanterns were highlighted.
So, I don't know that you can answer this or not, but we'll let you try.
Sure.
So as you look at the profile of the buildings, you know, along the river, okay, if you're on the north side, looking over, you see a pretty consistent pattern of wood railings, occasionally metal railings, but still basic railings. And that is a character-defining feature of the entire historic district. That's what the porches look like in the back of the buildings, is what the decks look like. Do you know why they're opting with glass, which is not a historic material? And that's a...
I won't, I'm not gonna try to attempt to speak for the property owner on that matter. I understand that there's consistency across the design for those wood railings, so.
Yeah, it's actually what we do, is we make sure that the district itself maintains the character-defining features that made it a historic district in the first place. And so sometimes there's materials that you can like substitute a newer material. So like the Trex Transcend, which is the composite decking material, that's fine. It looks like the wood. But a glass railing doesn't really look like all the other railings in the district. And so that's just a concern that I have about the application.
And maybe we can have the applicants do something that we can understand. Because I have no idea what this is. It just doesn't have any value.
Right. It's not really readable.
A bunch of numbers.
Yep, I didn't understand that that was the graphic to show us how the lanterns were going to be attached. So,
So is there any other feedback though? Because yeah, I'm hoping that I can at least be a messenger at the very least, so that there can be progress.
Proper drawings.
And so for proper drawings, I guess, Ed, for you, what are you looking for at a proper drawing?
Like a detail of what they propose.
But so would that be, I guess,
Exterior,
What it would
north
look like?
elevation.
yeah, so I guess what can, I don't want to say what's the minimum, but you know, what,
Take a photograph of the
Yeah.
back of the building, draw in what you think the new deck is going to look like with the proposed materials and where the lighting might be and where the new heaters might be. And also the, I guess, the metal railing on the stairs as well.
My only question would be, I'm sure that's a fire marshal thing, the height and safety of it as far as touching, there's a picture here and it shows it way higher than a little kid. I can't quite make out if it actually shows how high up or how accessible the flames are gonna be, the safety factor would be my only question, but that's not our department, I guess.
You're right, but thanks for sharing.
Oh.
Yeah, any other feedback that I could potentially take back?
What's your deadline, or what is
So I mean,
the deadline?
I know the property owner wanted to start on March 3rd. Again, didn't understand or made some assumptions about that the application somehow gave the permit, the historic district permit, by the passing of the grant application. We explicitly state in all our facade grants that that's not the case, that the historic district's a necessary step.
If she doesn't start by March 3rd, does she lose the funding?
No.
She will not lose the
No,
funding?
it's simply a scheduling thing, you know, where they had already planned out the, you know, the time period as to when the restaurant would be closed for. So trying to move that is kind of where the hassle comes in, and making sure that the project has that completion before the summer months where the deck's gonna be really utilized. I think that was more so the intention, not so much the funding.
Would it be possible, and I don't know how construction works, would it be possible to consider approval of the deck material? And so that part can get started, and then come back with the railing, stairway, the stair railing and deck railing? With photos? I don't know, or would it make more sense just to, I always appreciate when they want to get started, because I think we
Right.
all had that feeling this week. It's like it's sunning out finally, let's all start working on our houses again. But I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not making a motion at this point. I'm curious to know what the commissioners think.
I don't have a problem with that.
It may not work with the construction contractor to start, stop, and then start again.
Right.
That's true.
And I can reach out to them to see if that's feasible. But I think, I mean, in my mind, that's a great solution, Angie. I appreciate you suggesting that. I think that does give some flexibility, at least in getting the majority done, especially if the railings, the concerning element of the build out.
And the other risk to that is if you don't approve the railings,
Yeah,
then they can't open at all.
We can't open the deck.
They can't open the deck with no railings.
Right.
So,
I don't know.
We could give permission for the deck immediately, but hold back on the railings. And it's up to the construction company to decide whether they wanted to do it all at once or whether it was feasible for them to start on part of the project and then continue it.
it would be the railings and the heaters, because that would all be part of the drawing.
Yeah, the railings, maybe more information about the light. Like how
Are the
they're going to
heaters
be used.
attached?
Yeah, so I'm assuming that the heaters are going to be the last element installed in that. It wouldn't be, it'd be the final touch.
Here. This, under this orange highlight.
But they're gonna need gas lines and,
Are they gas-powered heaters?
gas.
But I'm not seeing any railing support being necessarily structural to the deck. Generally, anymore, you're replacing the decking and then, but again, I'm not a contractor.
Yeah, it
You're
depends.
the one who's better on that.
Depends on how they built it, so. I don't know, I kind of feel that, you know, give us a proper submittal with everything detailed. I mean, we don't know how many heaters, where they're located, We don't have an exterior elevation or a floor plan of the deck, any detail on what is proposed. I don't know what we can approve. I mean, yes, the deck, I suppose, but I don't know. I certainly wouldn't work that way. You know, I wouldn't roll in a crew to replace decking and then come back a month later to do the rest. It just isn't, you know, cost effective for me, if I was doing it. Get in
The
there.
last time we did that, the job still isn't completed.
Yeah.
It's still undone, so. Any more discussion? Is there a motion?
I would make a motion that we table this application till next month when we have more information about what the look will be and more information about the materials.
Is there support for that motion?
I'll support that.
Support from Ed and from Scott. Any more discussion? Heather, will you please do a roll call vote? Do you want to read the motion back before you do that?
Yes, so I have a motion by Vice Chair Quinn and support by Commissioner Kriskowitz to table this motion to the next meeting. Or to table this application, to the next meeting. And we'll do a roll call vote.
Yes, please.
Okay. Commissioner Lorraine?
Yes.
Commissioner Kriskowitz?
Yes.
Commissioner Trucks?
Yes.
Vice Chair Quinn?
Yes?
Chairperson Kenny?
Yes,
Motion approved.
thank you. Moving on to old business, we have 347 River Street.
Good to see you all. Again. It's been 3 months. Fun. Hey, I'm here to basically ask you to amend the approved approval that you gave me last time to include things I felt, kind of burned from the last time, not talking about construction methods, in essence. So I will be using scaffold, for example, to get to the upper windows, and when you get to a certain height in scaffolding, you do have to secure it to the building. So I'll be doing that sort of thing. There are doors that are not complete that I will be, in essence, sealing up for the period of time until they are ready to be opened. That sort of materials and use of materials that are normal in construction, I'm looking for your approval to add those to my already approved certificate of appropriateness, if that's fair.
So you're asking us to approve the items that you have attached to the building that
No.
it's approved of?
No, what I'm asking for approval that ultimately I'm going to use scaffolding. It'll go up 3-4 sections this summer, assuming I do the upper windows. That requires to be lagged into, if you go back to the last time we got together.
I don't think we've ever had to approve scaffolding.
How long is it gonna be there?
Month, maybe,
That's pretty much why he's here, right?
Pardon me?
That's why he's here, for
To approve scaffolding?
Scaffolding and other
Yeah.
construction-related
So I'll also be sealing,
require attachment to the building,
Yes.
which is probably includes the stuff that you already have attached to the building.
not true, that's not correct. What I'm looking to do is the doorway that I have on both sides, they're not complete. So when I remove the offending materials, I have to secure the doors. So I'll be, sealing them up with
Plywood?
painted. Yeah.
Have you removed what we asked you to remove in December yet?
I will do so at the absolute last moment. I've got-
And that moment hasn't come yet?
It has not. I believe March 12th, I'll redo my math.
Okay.
Almost 2 weeks. Hopefully the weather will break. I mean, that's been the challenge, and the objection I had was, if the city comes around and sprays the front with salt, I've got no protection for it, and frankly haven't sealed around the work that I did. So with a little luck, the weather will break.
I believe this application is for a full year, and I hesitate to approve having scaffolding sit out on the sidewalk for an entire year. I don't think this is something that the commission approves. Scaffolding
If I could.
for a year?
It wouldn't-
We've never considered any, what do I want to say, construction techniques or materials that were
safety,
used
yeah.
before. I'm not sure.
Understood.
there's anything
The building permit handles that, doesn't?
that- yeah.
Scaffolding's gotta be
Anything we have to deal
Yeah,
with.
building permit and building permit.
Yeah. If I could, if you, based on that, and I agree, based on that, can we go back and look at the motion that you raised last time and reverse it? I mean, I'll still remove the materials. But, that's been my point.
Go back and reverse a motion that
You can.
was passed unanimously by the commission in December.
You can. But I would, from a scaffold perspective, I typically take it in every day. But once I set it up 4 levels, that's a significant effort. And I'll be moving from window to window to seal to redo the upper windows, clean those up.
I guess the only concern that I see possibly is you might need to put cones up, if you were up there, or I know that the police might have some kind of like barricade or something that you might need to put up. You might want to talk to them just because of safety, somebody down below on the walkway or something,
I
so.
barricade it off, to
Okay.
make sure that people can't go between it and the building or around, just underneath it. I seal it off.
And with doing that, maybe just connect with the police chief or the police department on that, or if it's going to be a lengthy time or something. That's the only thing that I would suggest.
Yeah.
So 2 pieces of plywood covering each of the doors. And you mentioned paint. I don't know that
I'll probably paint it. I mean,
needed,
just
but
have it
okay.
Yeah.
How are you gonna get in and out? Because I know that was, you
Well,
wanted access in and
the
out.
central walkway, there's a central door that we use. to
Okay.
access.
Got it, okay.
I'm not sure what we should do to dispose of this application.
Maybe make a motion that it doesn't apply?
The plywood would, though.
Yeah, I would make a motion that we approve the temporary installation of plywood over the 2 doors during the construction project.
I would add to that the timeframe. He said 4 weeks, I'd give him 6 just as a buffer.
No, the plywood's completely separate from the scaffold. 2 completely different applications. Plywood will be up through the summer, because we're going to do everything on the top, come all the way down, complete everything above the ledges. The doorways will be the last piece of this project.
30th? Which kind of gets us to the end of the painting season.
So when you're talking about like scaffolding or anything like that, and that being kind of building department, police department, I don't know if we can do anything with that.
That's why it wasn't included in my motion.
Right.
So I'm just addressing the plywood, which would be the thing that would be
Okay.
appropriate for us.
All right.
Vice Chair Quinn, can you restate that motion then for me, please?
Yes, I propose that we approve installation of plywood on the 2 doors under restoration through September 30th, 2025.
If you could add a year on it, that might make sense.
Through 9/30/25. So approve installation of plywood on 2 doors
Can always come back then at that point.
of the restoration, under restoration.
Is that motion for the plywood only?
Plywood only.
And then so to protect the doors, because you're working up above.
Got it.
And was Commissioner Kriskowitz, did you second that? Was there support on that?
Not had a support
No
yet.
support yet? Okay.
No, I just said add time frame to it.
Oh, okay.
Is there support for the motion?
I'll support it.
More
Now
discussion?
we can discuss it.
Yes. More discussion. The motion does not include approving the use of scaffolding and other construction-related materials as the application states.
Correct.
So we're not approving the application as written.
We are not.
Can we amend the application with a motion?
Teresa, do we need to do that? Or can we just pass a,
I think you can just pass the motion.
Perhaps adding to the motion that, to the motion that questions regarding scaffolding and other construction-related items are not the purview
So
of.
because we have a motion and a second, we would have to do a motion to amend the original motion.
Okay,
Okay, so, and then we would have to vote on both motions.
okay.
Okay? So if you would like to, if someone would like to motion to amend the original motion?
I would make a motion to amend the original
Okay,
motion.
so so we have a motion by Quinn
Yes.
to amend the original motion to, and what was your,
I said it a second ago. So where the motion is, could you read back to me?
yes, so our original motion, I have a motion by Quinn, second by Trucks, to approve the installation of plywood on 2 doors under the restoration through 9/30 of 2025.
And this motion does not include approval of scaffold and other construction-related items because they are not the purview of the Historic Preservation Commission. And I don't know how to spell purview, I just know how to say it.
Scaffold and, what was it, scaffold and other,
Construction-related items. Basically, I'm reading.
That require attachment to the building.
Yeah.
okay, so to amend the original motion, which does not include scaffold and other construction-related items as they do not fall under the purview of the commission.
Can we still have some more discussion on that?
Is that as far as you want to go with that?
That's as far as I want to go with it.
Okay, we can have more discussion if I have a second on that amendment.
Is there a second on that motion?
Is there a second on the motion to amend? Trucks, okay. Okay, further discussion?
In order to stay consistent, I'm going to amend the amended motion. Because the Historic District Commission does have purview over items attached to the historic building. And your second motion said, because we do not have. So I would amend the motion, so this would be the third motion. Can I make that?
I've never done that before, no. Let's see here. So, I've never done a 3 before, so, because I'm not sure how we vote on that then. We usually only do 2.
read that back to us.
Yeah, so, okay, so it says to amend the original motion to not, which, to state does not include scaffold or other construction-related items as they do not fall under the purview of the commission.
So I would
I
move,
don't think that Second Amendment is necessary.
So do you want to remove that?
you seconded it. You supported it. The
We're in
second
discussion
motion.
now.
Okay.
I supported it so we can discuss it.
Okay.
Okay?
So if we're not
And
satisfied
my
with-
discussion is that I don't think that that is necessary because it doesn't say anything about the commission is approving anything attached to a building or anything like that. It's just saying that construction materials, that we don't have the purview over that.
But his application says attached to the
But we're not
building.
dealing with that application. We're not issuing a certificate of appropriateness, as near as I can tell. What we're doing is passing a motion which describes what we're approving.
So
We're
my
not taking any
suggestion,
action on the certificate of appropriateness, as near as I can tell.
so my suggestion is, this is just something I suggest, what you could do, since we have a motion and a second on an amended motion. You don't have to pass that amended motion. You can vote on it however you wish, and then we vote on the original motion. So we have two motions on the table. We have an original motion and we have an amended motion. We have to vote on the amended motion first before we can vote on the original. So if the commission so chooses, they can vote on that amended motion. Any of you can choose to vote no, and that amended motion would not pass, which we would then go to the original motion, and you could choose to vote on that how you wish.
Or amend it again to change something.
Yeah,
if
that's what I'm
necessary.
thinking
Yeah.
also.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, can we talk about it a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. So you mentioned that you would have the scaffolding up 4 weeks.
Roughly.
So why the protection till September 30th?
That's for the wood below, the doorway. Two
I
separate issues.
understand that, but if you're not working above it and your scaffolding's down, what are you protecting?
The scaffold is for the windows on the second level. Once I'm done with the windows on the second level, I'll still be working underneath the ledge. The scaffold on the second level is where I require to attach to the building.
Gotcha.
Once I take it down to, 1 level 2, no attachment required.
Right, until you get to the doors, that plywood would stay up.
Got it. Yep.
Typically, you start up and work down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this, we've been pressed to do things a little bit different. so
Yeah, I
here
get it,
we
I'm
are.
only teasing.
Yep.
Okay.
Heather, will you take roll call on the amended motion?
Yes.
Could you read it again?
Would you read
I'm
it?
sorry.
Yes, okay, so we have a motion by Quinn, second by Trucks, to amend the original motion to state it does not include scaffolding and other construction-related items as they do not fall under the purview of the commission.
Let's have a roll call on that.
Yeah, roll call, please.
Commissioner Lorraine,
So we're voting on the aesthetic of plywood, and scaffolding is a building permit, is that correct?
No,
No?
we're voting on the amended original motion that says that the construction items are not under our purview because they're not attached to the building, but they are attached to the building.
would you like me to read the original motion as well?
Sure.
Okay, so the original motion, which was also motioned by Quinn, second by Truck, is to approve the installation of plywood on 2 doors under the restoration through 9/30 of '25. That's the original motion, but what you're first going to vote on is the amended motion, which is to amend that original motion to include that does not include scaffolding and other construction-related items as they do not fall under the purview of the commission. So you're going to first vote on that amended motion before we can vote on the original motion.
Aye.
So you're voting yes on
Yes.
that? Okay. Commissioner Kriskowitz.
Yes, I guess.
Commissioner Trucks.
Yes.
Vice Chair Quinn.
No.
And Chairperson Kenny?
No.
Okay, so that amended motion, or the amendment to the original motion did pass. And now we're going to vote on the original motion as amended. Commissioner Lorraine?
I thought we were going to make another motion.
You can't now, though, that you've already, so you voted on your amended motion, and now you're going to vote on the original motion as amended.
Yes.
So,
Man, you've got me amended. I confess to, I'm trying to follow this. And I don't want to,
so as I was saying, if,
go against what is considered proper, and I'm a tad confused at this juncture.
The reason Scott's confused is this is his first meeting.
Yes.
And this has been a long time running project, so
Well-
don't feel bad.
Well, like I say,
You know, this
my heart goes out to
project's been going on for
construction,
years.
you know, and my head's just going on. Scaffolding is a different animal, and plywood is, we seem to be cosmetic there, but the two have got to have a happy marriage, and there's a time limit, and several amendments regarding all of this, and I'm just a simple country lawyer, you know, just, no, I don't want to rock the boat with.
You're fine.
Okay. I don't, if there's still discussion that is pending that would be preferred, I don't want to put the kibosh on that.
so,
Right, we're supposed to be voting on the application as presented, and we're trying to change it to accommodate the building owner, because we don't agree with the way the application is worded. So,
And I got to vote first?
right, poor guy, he's got to vote first.
Why don't we reverse the order?
Please read the motion again and do the roll call.
okay, so now, we'll read the whole thing, because it includes that amendment now. So it is a motion to approve the installation of plywood on 2 doors under the restoration through 9/30/25, and it does not include scaffolding or other construction-related items, as they do not fall under the purview of the commission.
Yes.
Commissioner Kriskowitz. Commissioner Trucks.
Yes.
Vice Chair Quinn.
Yes.
Commissioner Kenny.
No.
Motion approved.
Thank you.
Get it.
The next item under old business is 80 Washington.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the commission. John Palmerville on behalf of the Edgewater Condo Association, and I'm here regarding our application for routine maintenance, and if you have any questions for me. Otherwise, I don't really have any comments unless you have questions.
So John, your project has been before the commission before, but you've changed it. You're no longer suggesting vinyl siding. You're no longer suggesting metal siding. You're going to repair the wood.
Correct.
And I added in your packet the color, that they are going to change it just slightly.
So will all the green be changed to the basil green?
Yes.
Okay. Will any of the items that are not green right now be green? The new?
Yes. In my drawings, I pointed out that there's a couple of bare concrete walls that the painter suggested we paint those green also to give the building a more finished look. Plus, it'll seal that concrete. We've had some issues with the water permeating through the concrete. So those are, lower parts of the building, and also between, if you look at my drawing, I kind of pointed out in between two of the lower patio units, there's a concrete wall there that's, we are suggesting to make it green to match, you know, wherever the masonry will be.
So basically, everything that's gray in the picture will be green.
Except on the very bottom floor, you'll see there is some stonework. We are not painting any of that.
Okay.
What are we dealing here with? Are we dealing with approving a change to the certificate of appropriateness? Or are we treating this like a new application or?
This is a new application.
Yeah. Because the other one, we denied.
We asked them to come back with
Right.
alternatives.
So there's on this photo that you gave us, there's a retaining wall here. That's going to continue just to be a concrete retaining wall?
Correct. Yep.
So this bottom though unit, this basement unit that you're proposing to be green, it's below ground level, right?
Well, it's below the bridge, yes,
Okay.
but
So it kind of reads more as basement level?
A foundation.
A foundation level as opposed to?
correct. And on the other side of the building, I didn't have a picture of it. Part of, you know, foundation is concrete wall,
Right, right.
and we're suggesting to paint that.
I like the idea of the repairs being done in wood. I don't mind the blue basil green. However, I don't like covering those gray elements with the basil green. I think you'd lose some design elements to the structure, and there's material you can put on that wall, like a gray thorough seal or something in that order that will waterproof that wall and keep it the same intention, looks-wise.
Yeah, that, we could.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah, you know, the painter suggested painting it, and it's not that much more, so it's not like he's
Right.
making a big profit on it, but
Well,
he
I guess
thought it would.
looking, you know, making that green, I don't know what the,
It does detract from
it doesn't make,
architectural
right,
look of the building.
yeah.
Mhm.
You have a nice solid, rhythm here of gray going across. I don't need it. Green there. But otherwise, I love this.
Yeah, because
green side, yeah.
then why aren't you painting this green and this green and this green and all these other ones green? It just, I don't know. It's
Because that, well, no, a lot of that, oh, yeah, that's finished wood there on the sides.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, and, because on the other patios, it's the green beadboard that's painted. So if, you'll see on the end kind of where a green panel, if you go to the east end of the building, and right where I have the 6194 up at the top, if you take the left line and go down,
Oh, I see it.
yeah, some,
See, now that looks out of place to me. Is it green now?
yeah,
It is.
yeah, and that was placed there because of water
Oh, it's metal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When repairs were done to the building by the developer.
But there's such a, it's such, I mean, truly the rhythm of this is really delightful. I mean, it's
Okay.
a well-designed building.
Again, that centerpiece does not have to be painted green. I
Right.
mean, I'm more than willing to amend that right now to take that off the
Here's
table.
the picture of the west side.
Oh, yeah, and let me show you the west side of the
Okay.
wall.
Nice.
And if you don't mind, if I can approach. See that?
Oh, yeah.
wall?
Got it.
And there's a garage there.
Yep, yep.
And there's part of a unit there.
Yep, elevators over there.
Nope, the elevator is more central.
The entrance door is there? No, it's
No.
not. It's along the side.
Yeah, that's
It's
along
the west side.
That's the, the big retaining wall, I can see this.
So you want to paint
Because
that
these
green
two-
also?
Yes, that was
I
the,
mean,
So I think approve it
without
without
that.
that, and then without
see
that.
it, Mr.
Right.
Lyon?
I'm very familiar with the
Exactly.
building.
All right.
Agreed.
Blood foundation level, yeah. I'll see all the motions.
It's my view.
I'll make a motion to approve the repair work to the existing wood trim, beadboard, so on and so forth. And then, and approve the basil green. However, I think the grays should be, have something else considered on it, not the green.
Is there support for Ed's motion?
I support that. I think the concrete could have just a regular transparent sealant. The way it makes the other colors pop, it gives it a lot better definition, I think, the way it is now, and I very much like the basil green. One question, you've got a high gloss enamel paint on there now. Is this going to be more of a matte or also a high gloss?
Well, we haven't really considered that.
Well, I
I mean, when I looked at the prior, they didn't point out whether it was high gloss or not in their thing. Obviously, it's faded, as you can tell, the south side is faded. And I don't know if that's because of the paint or what. The contractor that's applying the paint here says theirs has a no fade guarantee. So I think the color, I'm not sure, yeah, this doesn't, we haven't got that far as whether it's gonna be glossy or not, but I mean, generally buildings aren't, if I,
Well,
and maybe it may sound nitpicky, but there is a difference between your matte finishes and the high gloss as far as
Right.
the sun reflection and all, several things. And the color that it is now, it's a very primary green. It's very green. And this basil, well, there again, the photocopy shows it as being more of a matte finish, which
Yeah. And
I
I think
like
that's-
very much.
that's what I think
Yeah.
we're,
I'm saying I really like this, and I like the way the concrete
Yeah.
left alone is, just leaving it the way, I think it gives a lot
I mean,
of definition.
yeah, I'm certainly fine with amending it and getting your approval, or if you make a motion and we agree to the, we just wanna,
one of the cool things about historic preservation work is when you have a new structure like this one, you try really hard to make it sort of fit with the flavor of the existing historic district. And most of the buildings in this district, since they were built back in the 19th century, they were probably originally painted with oil paint, which would have been really glossy. And so a lot of times in historic districts, they advise that you use at least a semi-gloss, if not a high gloss, even if you're not using oil, because I think the world basically uses latex or other newer materials these days. But I don't know that our commission has ever weighed in on
Yeah.
whether or not we're using gloss or not gloss, so
Not-
I'm not going
that
to.
I
I
don't
just,
recall.
just one of those things like if you think about the history of how the buildings probably have looked over time, they were probably glossier at some point.
They definitely, they were.
Yeah.
Any more discussion? We have a motion on the floor. And we have support.
Who was the support?
Scott?
Oh, thank you.
Could you read the motion?
What I got from the motion, unless the chair would like to restate the motion? No? Okay. I have a motion by Kriskowitz, second by Lorraine, to approve the repair work to existing trim and approve the basil green
Yeah.
color. Was there one more part that you had to
Well, I
that?
said, I like the material that they're using, the wood material to replace the existing beadboard and trim work, and I like the basil green.
Okay, do you want that in there with the? So approve repair work to existing trim,
Wood trim.
wood trim, and approve the basil green?
And then I think you were saying not on
Oh,
the-
yeah, not on
Concrete.
the gray concrete. but
And not on gray concrete.
Yep, there's other materials that could do that and stay gray.
Okay.
Heather, will you please take a roll call vote?
And I'm gonna mix it up. Commissioner Trucks,
Yes.
Commissioner Kriskowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Lorraine,
Yes.
Vice Chair Quinn,
Yes,
Chairperson Kenny.
Yes.
Motion approved.
it's gonna be beautiful.
So, does that mean we can go forward with it, but without painting
The-
The
the
concrete.
masonry? Okay,
I recommend you get with Teresa Waldo at the Community Development Office, and you'll probably need a permit to,
oh, right,
yeah,
yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna need a vote,
yes.
Yep,
sure of that. Yep,
Yep.
okay.
no problem.
All right, thank you.
You.
Have a good evening.
You too, thank you.
Okay, moving on to correspondence and the agenda. Teresa, have we received any correspondence to be read into the record?
None at this time.
And the museum director is out of town, so we'll move on to the planning and zoning administrator.
So first I want to start off with, I'm still sending you emails about any seminars or any classes that come up. Again, this is our new year, 2025. I need to encourage you that we need to always renew, take some of our classes. Let me know if you are taking any online or anything like that. And I'll keep with the emails and we'll just touch base every couple months and see if you've taken any classes and if I need to record those.
I took the neon, I attended the neon class last week.
Okay,
The-
great.
The,
Yep,
I have a question.
sure.
Can you indicate whether or not we are allowed to have a tuition-free registration to some of these things through some of our memberships and organizations? Because, if I go to register, they want me to fill in the blanks and things.
Well, I can go ahead and register for you because we do have some money in our funds. We do have some money that we could use towards that. So any classes that you want to that have a fee or yep, just let me know and her and I can go ahead and get that done. Yep, we can register you. Yeah, absolutely.
The one that was last week, you sent out a notice to everybody, and because you're an organizational member, it includes all of us as commissioners. So
Yes.
you-
Classes
so
are free.
You just send us basically what that discount code
Yep,
is.
what the code is, yeah. But if there's anything on the side that, might be $25 or $35, just let me know. And we can see if even if I'm registered with there, or if I can get a discount too. So, yeah, just let me know if you find any classes.
And Vice Chair Quinn, what class did you say that you attended? The neon?
A history of neon signs.
Neon
Yeah,
signs,
it was
yeah.
an
Okay.
awesome class. The earliest gas lighting, okay?
Oh,
With
yeah.
the tube-filled gas lighting was actually like 1895, they were beginning to show it, and 1905, it was beginning to be used in commercial districts. So we just need to be aware of that as we look at signage issues.
Yes. Yeah. Well, great.
Get the Vegas look.
The next, I need to ask if we can propose a meeting date change. The meeting is on April 23rd, 2025. If we could change it to April 30th, 2025. I'm going to be at a conference on the 23rd. So I didn't know if that would be okay for everybody's schedule.
Do you need a motion for that?
Yes.
Would anybody like to make a motion to
I move
approve
we
it?
change the April 23rd meeting to April 30th.
Support?
Heather, will you please take a roll call vote on the motion?
Want to do a roll call on that one, too? Okay. Okay. Commissioner Lorraine,
Yes.
Commissioner Kriskowitz,
Yes.
Commissioner Trucks,
Yes.
Vice Chair Quinn,
Yes.
Chairperson Kenny.
Yes.
Motion approved.
So I want to thank you for that. Next is the permit report. The one that came in the email was incorrect, so I've corrected the report. You have the new one in your yellow folder that's in front of you there. And does anybody have any questions or would like to discuss anything in that report? It has been revised.
Where are we at with the Mathewson permits? I see it says on hold. I know we approved a certificate of appropriateness. Do you recall? It says it expired.
Yes, expired, and then I've talked to him a couple times. He's not really followed through, also didn't pay. He's also not done a business registration, so I've sent letters.
Okay, so that's on hold.
Yeah. And I believe the one with the railing is still on there. That will just need to drop off because that is complete by the vote. So I'll take that one off. I still need to get with Robert Grass about the awning and all of that and where we're at with that, next to Glick's. Any other discussion? Okay. The annual report to City Council will be September 2nd, 2025. That is the last page of your packet. Just letting you know that Mark Fetter and I will be doing that report then in September. And then I do want to add one last thing. Everybody received some paperwork in their yellow folder. It's about just a brief resume about yourself. I am finishing up the paperwork for the, grab it here, for the Michigan State Historical Preservation Office. This is the SHPO yearly report, and with this report, my last portion of it is to get that documents from all of you. So once we've concluded the meeting, if you could just take a few minutes, finish that, give that in your yellow folder back to me, I'd appreciate it. We can get this sent in. This is due next week, so I need to complete it.
Do you have that online?
The form? No, but
Can you fill it in online?
no, I don't. They didn't give it to me that way. Could you finish it today for me or not? If I give you a pen?
I have a hard time handwriting.
Oh, okay.
You could probably compose the answers in an email.
Email, yeah, could I send you an email and do it that way? Great, so I will do that.
May we all do that?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Great. Thanks, Teresa.
yeah, because they'll take that. That's not a problem at all. So who would like me to email it and you write it back? Everybody except Ed? Is that okay?
Yeah.
And answer it that way?
Yeah.
Great.
Because I started writing, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna take me forever to finish this.
No.
We type faster than we write.
Right, yes, absolutely. Yeah, so I can do that. Yep, I'll be sending that right out tomorrow morning then. We'll get that together.
Parkinson's.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's all that I have then.
Thank you, Teresa. Moving on to public comment and communications concerning items not on the agenda. At this time, the chair will ask if there are any public comments. Hearing none, we're moving on to meetings and trainings attended by members.
Yep.
Yes, and I have been emailing you as I complete my classes and trainings, so do you have that list?
Yep.
Or do I need to compile it?
Nope, I have that list already. Yeah, I've been keeping track. Yep, all year.
Does anybody else have any questions for Teresa about training? Moving on to member discussion. At this time, the chair will ask members of the Historic District Commission if they have any items they want to discuss. I would ask that, welcome Kaylin Koloneski now to the city, and could somebody please update the Historic District Commission webpage to list our current members? Because some have dropped off and now we have new members, so I would appreciate that. That's all I have for today.
And I'd like to welcome Scott.
Yeah, welcome, Scott.
Thank you. Glad to be aboard.
Hearing no more discussion, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll do that. Motion to adjourn.
Support?
Support. Okay.
Lots of
Scott-
support.
Scott did it first, yeah.
Scott got it.
I'm out of here.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.